All right, y'all. I am the I'm the most ill prepared you ever saw. Ill prepared I ever been. Illest prepared I ever been. You would think in a winter storm everybody would hunker down in the barn, but no, everybody decides to go bat poop berserk. I mean, everything on four legs with wings. Ah, y'all. You've lived on a farm. You know what I'm talking about.
The insanity that ensues before a storm.
I mean, no, we got snow coming down now.
Oh,
Um, yeah, and the wind blowing like crazy. It's cold, and
yeah.
we took we took five puppies to the vet today. Just got back
Oh,
from getting their second round of shots.
oh.
The one
Yeah.
time Lord Kiss Freak is early and I'm late. Yeah. Whew. Well, nobody's been battening down the hatches. We've been wanting to, but Carol's crazy critters. Ain't it the truth?
And there's nothing worse. It's like animals can tell and they start, getting really antsy and everything before the storm and doing all kinds of stuff. And they're just harder to handle. And it makes you more antsy because you're trying to get everything together. I mean, you know what's coming. They, in their, animal mind, know what's coming. And the more crazy the animals get and the more difficult, the more I get freaked out about what's coming. You know what I mean? If it's just a little thing and the horses are just neighing a little bit and the dogs are pacing, I don't really worry. But when it starts getting crazy, I'm like, oh, make sure we got bread and milk and firewood. I remember those times. Oh,
Oh,
God.
yeah, it's one of those days when I ask myself, I thought a farm was a good idea. Why?
Get lots of animals, they said.
Yeah.
It will be fun.
Rolling Stone says I caught my dog trying to sneak off at least four times today while he was supposed to be bringing in wood and shoveling. Silly puppy, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Kristen,
Kristen, hi, honey,
welcome
Rolling
to the
Stone.
crazy farm.
It's been really windy here and rainy like crazy.
Yeah.
We're not scheduled for any snow. See, and I live in a weird area because I'm on the lake. There's something about the wind patterns and how it goes around me. Um, but it's kind of getting it everywhere else. Um, Rude. Yeah. Yeah. You'll make lots of money on those cattle and those horses. Yeah. Right.
Not unless they become YouTube or TikTok stars,
Right.
which ain't
I
really happening.
I remember growing up and I'd see these big, huge cattle ranchers because that's what we are, and they had money, and this was before the livestock prices fell out and everything, and all these generational dairy farmers, and then everything just tanked, and then all of a sudden you're looking around and you're like, well, might need a day job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Super windy and rainy here in Florida. Stuff on the front porch was flying around. Yeah, I had some stuff flying around my front porches. Yeah, are kind of scary, and the cats were completely weirded out.
yeah.
Woo, I have to restart my
Really?
PC, get that camera out of
Oh,
the barn.
hey, Zelda.
Barn, yeah.
Hey, everyone.
I
Yeah.
don't think I want to know a Rolling Stone. Days like this, I feel like the less I know, the better.
Isn't that the truth? Sometimes you're like, you know what? It's kind of like if you trip and fall, you kind of start to brace yourself on the way down. But if you know you're going to trip and fall, it's like you tense up and it's almost worse. just, just trip over the line in the pavement. Um,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is the only heat source that truly warms you up.
Yes.
Now, yeah, the gas furnaces come on. It's a heat pump until it gets to a certain point, and then the gas
Mhm.
furnace comes on because the heat pump's
Gotcha.
just not going to do anything but blow around cold air at a certain point.
Right. 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 Right.
Calling for 60-mile-per-hour winds tomorrow. Not uncommon here. Woo!
Safe to say.
Where are you at, Pup Groomer? Are you in Wyoming?
We're in northwest Arkansas.
When one cat starts scrambling, they all start scrambling, and it's a mess. Yeah. Shoveling, yeah, shoveling. And cutting wood.
Who's that?
You know,
One of the people here. Rolling Stone is her name? Yeah. Do I know what?
oh, I was gonna say when I was growing up, the only way we heated our house was wood heat, and I missed it so much. My dad taught us, like, did your dad? My dad taught us how to bring in firewood, so we'd have to put our arms like this, and he would stack it up way under our
Yeah.
chin and walk it
Yeah.
in like this, like he could barely see.
I do this bit and just,
And
my arms are stretched out as much as they can stretch.
yeah, yeah, my dad would always, he'd make me put it, down like waist high, and then he'd stack it all the way under my chin.
Ooh.
And I miss so much the wood heat.
Rural Nevada, right up in the mountains, 6,500 feet elevation.
Oh, you know what? I spent time in Elko. Elko, Nevada has my heart. I love Elko. And Winnemucca.
Believe it or not, I have been to Elko, Nevada.
Yeah, it is the greatest. I have the best story about Elko. I'll have to tell some other time. But yeah, I was out there for the cowboy poetry gathering. It was just magical. I loved it. Oh, you're in Eli. Okay, I know exactly where you are. Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome. Very cool.
North Dakota is the only state not under a storm watch, I heard on the news this morning. Well, how about North Dakota? Let's all pack up and head there. I'm not loving this at all.
I don't, it rained here, but that was it. Like, I don't think we're under anything at the moment. Doesn't mean it's not moving anything through. But as long as Michael can get home, he will be leaving Thursday evening. He can get home, then that's good.
I hope it's not a blizzard that he has to drive in the whole time.
Oh yeah, we don't want to.
He did that last year. He drove his vet from Washington State all the way home through a storm.
Corvette.
Yeah, he's not that's his daily driver. It's a 2015 Corvette. Bless his heart. We pray for him. We stay in the South. Yeah. He's a sight. Torch red. He's gotten 2 tickets in just as many months, and wants to know why the cops zero in on him. Well, because you're almost 15 years old.
Red Corvette.
Yeah. You drive really fast.
We have rain, wind, storm in effect. Yeah.
Lord, kiss
windy and blowing snow around right here.
Let me tell you what I did.
You're so right, Chris. Oh.
So he's gone. So you guys know this. Like, he's only home about a month out of the year, and he drives everywhere, and like the car is his life. So I got tired of him buying all these little junk cars and then having to pay a pile of money to fix them. So this is in my brilliance, right? This is what I told him. I said, just go get a car payment. Go get whatever you want. I don't care. Go get a car. And he's looking online, and I don't know what he's doing because our finances are separate. I was working at the time. He calls me and he goes, I'm going to Hazard, Kentucky, which is about 2 hours away from here, to pick up my car. And I'm like, what? He comes home that night and he's got the vet. And I was like, how's this going to work? He's made it work, but he's rethinking his choice right now. Because last year he had to drive from Washington State to Kentucky in that really nasty blizzard. Yeah, where like Wyoming was shut down and part of Colorado was shut down. It was horrible.
Hello, Cosmic.
Hey,
Haven't shoveled out my car yet, and another storm on the way. That's it. That's us. We got back to back snowstorms coming, and sub-zero temperatures. I hate single digit and sub-zero temperatures.
Is that polar vortex they were talking about that's coming?
Call her back. Call her back. Can you feed her, please? Maybe she'll settle.
Hey, dog.
Sorry.
Cosmic, it's good to see you back in your house. Tell us about your beautiful Australian weather, where it's probably
Yes, where it's sunny and hot, and
yes.
I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
It's going to be 33 today, so Celsius. So.
Let's see. Let me translate that for all of us other people.
I guess 90, is that right?
Yeah, I can do that on my phone. I can change it in the weather app. It's going to be warm.
She ate all she wanted.
Let's see.
Yeah, I thought the things in the background were doing something wrong. I was like, what are they doing?
What, in my background?
Yeah.
Those are guineas.
Yeah, guinea fowl.
Yeah.
I always forget the name. I was like, those things, I know what they are, because I used to chase them around to get them away from the house. So
There are
that
guard
dog.
dogs.
It's
Yeah. Well,
going to
they're really
be
good with
100.
snakes.
It's going to be 100 where Christy's at today.
Yeah, so, but it's going to be a nice, I keep it a good 20 in my house. So,
Okay.
so which
so let's
is
see.
well less than that. Hey, Lord Kissfreak, Kisses, I Was Made for Loving You came on the radio when I was driving my son home when I was driving home from dropping my son at work, and I was like, I was made for loving you. That was my favorite song when I was a kid. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, yeah. So I used to love that song when I was a kid. Yeah. But yeah, I was so continue with your story, Christy.
Oh, no. I was just, that was it. He had to drive through in a snowstorm, and he's just so impressed about how great this does. And I thought next time I'm going to be very specific, and I'm going to be like, buy a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch that Truckers on Ice, I think it was.
Yeah. Ice Road Truckers.
Wow.
Yeah, that one, yeah. I was always like, is that real? Yeah.
Wouldn't want anything.
Why would you drive on that? Because it doesn't make sense. But then I suppose
I can tell you in Alaska, when Michael's up at the slope, so when he's up by the Arctic Circle up near Kaparik and kind of the top up there, the Antarctic, they have when the state of Alaska agreed to let the United States drill oil there, because there's enough oil in Alaska to keep the United States in oil indefinitely. We don't have to buy oil from other countries between Alaska and the Dakotas. We have enough to maintain our stuff right here that we don't have to buy. But part of the deal was when Alaska became a state and they discovered oil up there, the indigenous peoples said, you can put your refinery up here, and they have a huge refinery, but you can't damage the tundra. And so that means they literally do drive on ice just so that they don't damage the roads up there. And that's also why indigenous people, the First Nations people, get paid. You actually it's the only state in the United States where you get paid to live. They get a check every year based off of the oil sales and things like that, or they get paid. It was part of it for them to be allowed to drill there because Alaska is so oil rich. They get paid, and these checks are like $1,200 or $1,500 for the year. It's like a one-time check that they get for living there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is so dangerous. So I was just like, wow. And like I'm sitting there like on the edge of my seat going,
for a year.
Yeah, doesn't seem right.
Yeah, but it goes to every single person who lives in the state gets that. So they've got to take all of the people in the state, like it's based off of some, I don't know how they come up with the amount, but they get a check once a year. So each person in the house, if there's 5 people in the house, each person gets like $1,200 or $1,500. And that's for the year. And then and it's because of the oil rights up there.
Okay.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why in the very, very top part of Alaska, they drive on those ice roads. I don't know where Ice Road Truckers is filmed. I don't know if that's Alaska or Canada or where it is, but
Oh,
Steve says it's both Alaska and
is
Canada.
it both?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's really interesting, but it's also like, the ones where they do that fishing thing where they go and, I'm not sure if they're
Oh,
getting crabs or
yes, Deadliest Catch. So
Yeah.
they actually go out of Homer. So we've seen all of those crab fishing boats when we were in Homer. We got to see all of those boats because they leave out of Homer and go into the Bering Sea from there. So that was kind of cool. But those guys are rough. Like,
Dang. They also drive
Yeah,
over
it-
water to cut distance. Woo.
wow. They remind me of the people who do lobster fishing here.
oh,
Um,
yeah.
because they can only do it for a certain amount of time. So they go out, go grab the lobsters and come back and and they earn a lot of money. Yeah.
Oh,
You bought a
yeah.
Jeep?
What's that?
I'm just
Oh
happy to
no,
hear about how you got a Jeep.
I used to have a Jeep. That was this morning on the lifeboat. They were talking about was that this morning? Ben? Yeah, I think they were talking about they were talking about old TV shows, and I said I always wanted to be Daisy Duke because she had long brown hair. Everybody else had blonde hair, and I didn't have blonde hair. So I thought, well, Daisy Duke works. I mean, she's got brown hair. I've got brown hair. So I always wanted to kind of be Daisy Duke. Until I realized like she was really the only one in the family that worked and everything. But then I got an 89 Jeep Wrangler and I used to drive it around with the top off and the doors off. And I don't have it anymore. I loved it. It was a stick shift. It was so much fun, but I got rid of it. But yeah, that was my goal in life. I went to I didn't know no better. She just had brown hair. That's all I knew. She had brown hair and the guys had cool cars. And like she drove a Jeep and that's all I could.
I always wanted to be Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It's admirable. I wanted to be somebody that walked around and cut off jean shorts and heels. I mean,
Well, look at what Wonder Woman wore. She wore like tight shorts. And,
she had superpowers.
Yeah, but
That's awesome.
I went to a fair, like we called them fates or something when I was a kid, and it had like Christy Robinson on the bottom, and yeah, and
Kimmy.
Wonder Woman. It was made for me, and it was just a poster I had on my wall, and I had Barbie on pink all through my. I still had.
Melinda wanted to be Selena. I'm not in any way a Tejano singer. Right?
Hey, it's okay. You can. She was amazing.
Yeah, she was.
That's
We can
awesome.
dream.
She really, really
Yeah.
was.
It's funny though, nowadays little girls aren't allowed to be little girls and little boys aren't allowed to be little boys. But my little girl, she played with trucks and all that sort of stuff. My little boy played with Barbies, and also played with trucks. And he was a little boy. It doesn't matter. Like
sister.
just
my
let him be.
have a big
Yeah.
You know?
I'm glad you got your kerosene lanterns filled up.
Yeah.
Lily.
Be
That's
prepared.
important.
Yeah.
Rebecca, hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Rebecca.
Timmy's
Hi,
Playhouse.
Kimmy.
Hi.
Hi, Kristen.
Glad you're here.
Hi, everybody that I did not acknowledge my name. I'm sorry. It's just my brain was on overload.
Hi, Rebecca. Thanks, Zelda. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because we're having unseasonal like, because it's meant to be having what is it, El Nino, but we're having really weird storms and all that sort of stuff. Because it's super humid here at the moment, but it's like overcast. So we're having like weird humidity, and then all of a sudden storm, and then it's like, yeah, we're gonna have humid days, and then another storm. So that's why I'm here today. Because
Tasmania? Ask her that. Is that
I don't know if you would know this or not. Steve wanted to know if it ever freezes in Tasmania.
I think they get like snow in the high mountains, but could we get like Mount Kosciuszko, which is our tallest mountain? I don't even think it classed as a mountain, really. So that's one like tallest mountain. They get snow there, and in Queensland, we get like in Stanthorpe when it's really really cold there. That's it. That's our tallest, our highest part. We get snow there. So I have to say that must, because it's low there. Must, but I don't know.
I love this,
Really
Ben.
north south.
Ben says the one expert that has been right was a dude who said it would be very cold because of the volcano in Greenland.
Well, there was that. Was it? Oh, it was in Indonesia. It was was it Krakatoa or something? In
That sounds
and
familiar.
it let out a huge thing of dust, and it the Thames in the river in England, it froze over, and they were having like ice parties for like, I don't know, a year or something. Like it was in the late 1800s or something, but it affected the the world's climate for ages, because it put so much dust and ash into the world that it cooled the world for a while, because that's what happens. Like, volcanic dust can actually cool the world. So it happens.
Kimmy, if you want to put the link in the chat, and I can copy and paste it, or one of the mods can, if there is a mod here. Chris, I think, is a mod, aren't you? And
Yeah,
you can copy and paste it and put it up so it's clickable.
And if you're in the Lifeboat Discord, I can also, advertise it in there as well. I actually feels weird being a mod.
Imagine what the weather is like on other planets. Oh my God, that's just way too much to think about.
Yeah, I'm not called cosmic for naught. I actually love saying that, because cosmonaut, haha. But there's apparently planets that rain diamonds, and other planets that rain amazing different things. There's actually, my favorite planet is actually it's not a planet, it's a star. It's called a magnetar, and it's the most magnetic type of a neutron star in the universe. Well, that we've discovered. Well, me, I take all the credit for everything, because I am one of the humans in the world. And it sends it's a pulsar, and it sends out these pulses of like magnetic energy, and if it pulse, and if it hits a human, it could take out all your iron. So all the iron in your blood. So it could go bleh, and all your iron would be ripped out of you. And I just think that's amazing, because I lack iron, so it'd be like pulse on me. It'd get hardly any iron. So I'd be like, oh well, hardly any out of you. And someone, so like there's people in the world who have like too much iron, so they have to go get their blood taken from them. That used to be my neighbor. She'd be like, she was amazed at me because I was like anemic and she had too much. She'd be like, oh, you can have some of my blood. I'd be like, I don't think that's how it works. Yeah, I just think that's amazing. There's like, the universe is amazing. There's so many things out there that we just don't even know. But we know more about what's out there in the universe than we know what's in the ocean.
Are you talking about? Did you hear that on the show Cosmos by chance, Kristen? One of the most beautiful things I saw once is that we were all made of stardust. Carl Sagan
Yeah,
said
well,
that, and also so did Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
yeah. So has oh no, he's English. He's from Manchester. I can't think of his name. I know, but he's got a real soft voice.
Mhm.
I don't know. I can't think of his name. But yeah, Carl Sagan said that we're just walking, talking stardust, and we are the we are the universe made conscious, or something like that. I think that's beautiful. Yeah,
That idea.
yeah.
There we go. We got Kimmy to play Hustling Kids.
Thank you,
Um,
Chris.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Carl Sagan
yeah,
is great.
right on. Yeah, I was when I was a kid. I was like in that stage of junior high, high school transition there when
Mhm.
that first Cosmos series came on PBS. I was in awe. In
He
awe. Yeah.
Anastasia,
Hey.
Everyman,
Hey,
sending you lots of
Stacia.
love.
Sending you lots of love.
Person is running late. I just wanted to pop in and say hi, tribe. I'll be here tomorrow for sure. Thursday, I am unsure when court will finish. Love from the wee man and I. I hope everything's okay with you, Plant Freak, and everything's going well. Whenever you can, give us an update. I have not had a chance to breathe, much less look at anything Facebook or otherwise. So anyway, I hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Yes. Best of. Best of. Stasia. Yeah. Well, I hope that this isn't too much of a bust, but I couldn't get my brain out of winter crazy animal gear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
like having a little bit of an informal meeting today and a little bit short. If that's what we need.
I think so. It's definitely what I need. I've got to get out there today before the
Mhm.
sun goes down and get everybody
Yeah.
starting to get situated for the
Yeah.
night.
Especially with stuff.
Yeah, and I haven't been home for 9 days, so it's just like walking around the house
Oh
going,
yeah, you're in your house. I just realized that. That's right. How is
yeah,
it? How is it?
it feels strange. So yeah, and it's very quiet. I actually miss being around noise and people.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's also nice being around my dog,
Yeah.
and my son. So
Right
he's all like, "Why are you lecturing me? I'm not." He's just not used to having his mum here again. So I'm
on.
just like, but I'm also like, "Why is this here? Why is this here?" And where's my stuff?
You know what? Sometimes just good company is all you need, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was meant to go home back. Well, I say home
Edie,
because it's
no! Sorry. Well,
okay.
that wasn't very calm. Edie, no! Sorry.
Yes, but we'll let you go. Do we need to do some box breathing? Do you need to do some box breathing?
She was starting to chase after some four-wheelers driving by.
Oh,
Okay. Hi, Guido.
our little, well, it's not mine, the little dog next door is only about this big and chases after four-wheelers. But he's so small that you don't see him. And so it's very scary to me. Like he'll get in the way of the car and stuff like that. And they don't keep him on a leash or make him behave. So I'm always afraid I'm gonna, like he's gonna get in the way. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I can't keep Edie in anywhere. There's nowhere I
yeah,
can keep her in. So I'm just going to have to train her
yeah,
to be where she's supposed to be.
right, right. Well, and this little dog just does not give a flip. Like,
Yeah.
runs everywhere. So I'm trying to train their dog to stay out of my yard because it drives Mikey and Sweetie insane. And Mikey actually managed the other day to open the front door. It was the screen door. He managed to, it's a glass door, but it's like a screen door. He managed to open it and run out and run off because he's seen their dog. It took me forever to catch him. What can you say?
Oh,
Mine is the screen music started.
I just.
Okay, yesterday I missed the meeting because I needed to get a prescription for mental health meds.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
really bad fatigue and brain fog.
Yeah.
Oh,
One's for Rebecca.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
I'm glad. I'm glad you're getting that seen about, and I hope the meds are what you need. And if they're not, I hope that it gets sorted out quickly to where it is what you need, because I know how that goes. Thank you for the meeting, as I needed a safe place to come. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Hang in there, Rebecca. Wishing you the best with all that endeavor. It's never fun trying to get meds straight, says a Rolling Stone, and that's the truth. Yeah.
No, there's nothing more difficult.
Really and truly. So I do hope that it's not going to be having to try a bunch of different things.
Yeah. Ben, yeah, ask a question. If you have a question, or you can come on if you need to ask a question.
Yeah.
If it's easy to come on, probably come on. That's why I always come on, because otherwise I'm sitting there typing like.
I'll put
Rolling Stone, you have a banana in your purse? Is there a did I miss something? Did you just carry around a banana?
I have fish in my
My
purse.
bananas never fared well in my purse.
No,
have-
it wouldn't in mine. I'll tell you what, between the essential oil perfumes and the cough medicine and the BC powder, it'd go. Not be good.
I have fish in my purse. Those little soy sauce fish. Oh, look, everyone's doing it. Hey, where's Tequila? Sorry, my dog's name is Tequila. I think I've said that. Tequila.
You have fish in your purse, like an actual fish?
They're little soy sauce fish, just in case I have sushi and I don't have enough soy sauce.
Oh, fish sauce.
And I have salt and pepper.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
I was like, wait a minute, I am interested in this. So we go from a banana to fish. What kind of purses y'all got? That's what I want to know.
No, I have a big purse, but I have I have a purse condiments. So, and I have car. I have,
Tissues.
I have car vinegar and car tomato sauce.
Okay.
Just in case I have fish and chips.
Here it is.
Okay. Rebecca, I'm good. What's your question
Hello,
for me? Oh.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, is this thing okay?
Yeah,
Here we go.
I can hear you.
Okay. Christy, and you don't know I'm pointing at you. Yes, you do. Deep down you do. Okay. My question is, let's see here. Okay, I've been looking at psychology degrees. I've taken a few classes, but I had to wind up taking them audit because I'm sorry. $110,000 to $130,000 for a little stupid, not even a little stupid little master's degree, which makes you qualified to say, do you want fries with that? So yes, before the incredible cost of college, I started getting, that's what got me into neuroscience. But the problem with neuroscience is it's just a bunch of facts that rattle around your head. They really don't really count for much. What got you, how did you get into mental health? Or how did you get started in it?
Well, from the time I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a psychologist. So I have always studied it because the way my brain is wired is I want to understand why and how somebody responds the way that they do. So for me, and my dad was always the type of person that we grew up really poor. And he said, you can learn anything you want to go by going to the library. This is back before YouTube and Google, and reading a book. And so I just grabbed every book I could read. And then and that was, when I was little. Then after I dealt with, when I was on the other side of my ex, it really interested me, like how somebody who, like could go that way, like what made him that way, what was missing in his life, or what happened in his experience that caused him to behave that way. And why did I allow, I'm not speaking for everybody, I'm speaking solely for me here. Why did I allow myself to stay so much longer? Like, what about my self-worth like made me feel so not worthy? And I wanted to explore that because, before I had kind of always thought it was this, like, maybe you had a bad childhood, or, maybe you experienced some sort of trauma, and my story didn't fit that at all. So then for me, it was like, okay, so how did I get from here to here? And in order for me to heal myself, I had to understand the science behind it. And I'm a very, that's why I love like politics and history, science, mental health issues, is because it's factual. Like and that's why I always come at everything with, okay, what do we know to be true? Because when you're dealing with what you know to be true, you kind of can't, cheat yourself. But I've also got family members that are schizophrenic.
Potentially can't be gaslit too.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And I have one person who married into my family is schizophrenic. I've got depression on my dad's side, runs in. And so for me, I'm not ever really going to attack anybody. I'm going to always kind of look at it from the standpoint of what happened in your life to cause you to be this way, whether that's positive or negative. Like, how did you become such a wonderful, caring person and so compassionate? What did you go through? Or, wow, you're such a jerk. What happened in your world? But that's where it came from, really, was just an understanding, like really, and then just grabbing everything I could and reading it, like watching everything.
So that's how you got where you are now, pretty much.
Yeah, and hundreds of thousands of dollars of therapy.
Yeah. So when I put myself in, I thought, wow, it was $30,000 for 1 month. Like, holy crap!
Yeah.
But I was at the time I was thinking, wow, this is almost as much as college. Oh, hell no.
No, it's more. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, well, maybe per month, but yeah. Yeah, that was okay. I was just been trying to figure out a path, and I don't even really know an end. To what end? To what end do I want to do this type of thing? But yeah, because all the stuff that's stuck in my wooden head has been kind of psychopathy, elicitation techniques, things like that. Things that a lot of true crime stuff. Yeah. Command statements, things like that, or confusion statements. Stuff that's more along the lines of carnival tricks. So I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to figure out what would be. I mean, I don't have desires of being a therapist. Oh, hell no. I wouldn't want to put up with me. Okay, doc, I hate my mother. I love my father, and go with that one. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out what kind of pathway.
If you like the true crime stuff, take a look at like the FBI and CIA work, and go back to, now it's a show. It was, think Michael watched it on Netflix, but it was Mind Hunters. But basically, it's about when the FBI actually developed the special unit that dealt with serial killers and stuff like that. Go back and take a look at all of that, and
I don't have it here.
you know, that's an interesting way. And then, you know, a way that I learned a lot was just reading about people as much as I could. Now, I am somebody who I can't kind of have some of that really icky stuff in my energy. So like serial killers and stuff like that, I don't read about them. But you know, if that's something that you can read about, you know, there's a lot that can be gleaned from that. But I like the more meticulous approach. So, you know, for me, if I were you and I was wanting to kind of understand that, I would go to the FBI. I would go like not to the FBI, but FBI, CIA, you know, any kind of criminal kind of thing. And I would just find every book I could find and just read about it.
And that's one of the people I happen to be digging in on is Robert Drake. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's real big on trust. In fact, that's the name of his show is Forged by Trust. But he was one of the people in charge of the FBI Behavioral Health Unit back when it first started. I mean, he was there in the you know, Twin Towers stuff, and he's done a really good job with that. So yeah, I've kind of been investigating that a little bit. A little bit of who's it? Paul Eklund. Paul Eklund, was he the guy with Lie to Me? They made Lie to Me after. He's in the Micro Expression.
That name is familiar.
And oh gosh, people like that. Names are escaping me right now. But yeah, I've been digging into stuff like that. But I was just wondering if there was like some little. Okay, but that I guess that kind of helps. I was just wondering if there was like some magic bullet that helps stuff. Because the stuff that sticks in my head is the body language stuff sticks in my head.
Yes.
But what you know, really what good, you know, when somebody comes up to you, you know, oh my gosh, this just happened to me. And it's like, okay, I should remember how to deal with this, but I don't. All that stuff escapes me. The stuff I remember is, oh, hey, this person's looking up. This person is, when this person's looking up to their left, they're trying to remember, you know, images. Their gestural, when they gesture something's positive, they use their right hand or their left hand. Their needs are probably acceptance and things like that. But it's like that stuff is not the same as being able to comfort somebody when they are facing. The two are completely different. Yeah, we're facing somebody when they're in trouble versus.
It is and it's not. I think a lot of times too, just letting somebody talk and knowing their, you know, like, and asking them, you know, like those questions. How does that make you feel and why? And, you know, it will give you a lot of stuff there as to where they're at emotionally and what they're thinking. You know, so it all does kind of tie together. Even DBT ties into that, you know, as far as like watching somebody and what they're doing. And so it's just a lot of, you know, really paying attention. But, you know, again, with body language and stuff, you've got to make sure you're paying attention to their baseline.
Oh, yeah, because everybody's baseline. Because people are different. Some people, in fact, I've noticed that musicians tend to, when they're remembering sound versus sight, they will tend to go to different locations than everybody else does. And that's probably because of left brain artists. But things like that come up. So, yeah, you have to treat every person individually, and that's a big thing you know, what all the things on body language isn't. You don't detect lies with it. You just detect stress. But people are more stressed when they lie. But, you know, it's a no. But
I'm really smooth and good at it.
And that's what, because what really stuck out to me was, I think it was yesterday or day before, Excuse me, I got a bunch of stuff on the ground trying to walk around because of my temper tantrum doing math earlier. Math sucks. It'll be the death of us all. But yeah, the thing that struck me was how well how good the questions that you were asking yesterday when somebody was under a lot of stress. And it's like, because all I could do is just sit there and listen. And it's like, that's something you can learn, but it's like, well, how? I really don't know how. And that's really what I wanted to get into, right? Because after the whole therapy thing, I thought, wow, this is great. This would be great to work up at one of these recovery centers, to maybe get into that field. But yes, college.
Yeah.
Like a hairball.
Actually, I have something interesting that I wanted to talk about my therapist yesterday. Because I couldn't actually talk properly because I had a whole house full around me. There was nowhere for me to be because there was a special needs child in the bedroom who was overwhelmed because there were so many people, and I'm sitting there overwhelmed because there were so many people. But it was really just a reintroduction after, the Christmas break and seeing how I went. And I told him about the situation, Christy, that I told you about. Which I'll tell the room about. My carer, my best friend, put a situation on me that I felt wasn't very fair, which I don't think she did on purpose. So she said that she wasn't going to drink until I drank again, which I think she thought that I wasn't going to drink again, and she thought that she couldn't. So she knows that I could do it because I've done it before. Like I've spent, I've given up so many things. I gave up sugar, gave up dairy. I give up stuff. Once I've, set a goal for things, like I can give it up. And she can't. She's got a sugar addiction. Blah blah blah. And she had a gastric bypass or whatever, gastric sleeve, something like that. And she's going through a stressful time, and that's one of the reasons why I went there for so long, is because just as much as I need her, she needs me.
Right on.
And so she's like, all right, we're going to do this together. And so I thought she was doing it for her health rather than, so we're going to do sobriety together. And so I was like, cool. And then I was sitting at the table with my headphones on, and there was a bit of a break I've been watching fishing shows because it's my way of trying to get eating, because I love fish. And so they fish and then they eat it. So I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And so there was a bit of a break. And so she was talking to someone else, and they were saying, I say, how long are you going to not drink for? And they were like, until Chrissy starts drinking. And I just think it was off the cuff remark. And a way of her saying, until Chrissy starts drinking again. And also, yeah, I don't think she thought too much about what she said, but to me, it sat with me the whole, for a couple of days. And I'm like, I don't like this responsibility, and I just needed to color my hair, and I just didn't like the responsibility of having someone else rely on me. I don't know, having someone else rely on me to, stop them drinking. It's like saying, I'll only stop drinking if you stop drinking. It's like flip the situation, and I wasn't comfortable, and so I was coloring my hair. And something that I've always done is drink while color my hair. Is something that was just a couple of drinks. So I thought, okay, I can kill two birds with one stone. And it was something that I've done with my mum. And so I just had a couple of drinks and colored my hair. It took like, I don't know, 3 hours because I fumble around it. I took ages to look for everything. And my hair's pretty long. And I was watching stuff. I watched one of your meetings and just there going, off with the fairies. And I was just thinking. I wasn't sure if this was a lapse. I didn't even think it was really a lapse. I didn't enjoy it. And I was just thinking, oh God, I don't know. And then I finished coloring my hair, and I did that thing where you wrap it all around, and I tried to put Glad wrap all around, and it got all a mess, and I was just like, stop it. Walk around the house, clean everything up, and I went to take a sip of it. When I finished, I'm like, don't like this, and I tipped out the rest because I went 2 and a bit drinks, like cans, like pre-mixed stuff, really weak, like 4%. So really, it's like nothing. And I wasn't drunk or anything. It's like 3 hours to take two and a bit drinks. And so I don't even really think of it as a lapse because I was not drunk. And I was like, okay. Because it was like 4 o'clock in the morning by the time I finished. And I was like, responsibility done. I can tell her in the morning, you can drink now. I don't need to worry about it. And yeah, so I was just like, okay, fine. Relief. My responsibility is done. I don't have to be responsible for her sobriety anymore.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because, it just didn't
And you
feel right.
you can't be responsible for anybody's sobriety except your
Only
own.
my own. Yeah.
Only your own.
Yeah, it just, I feel grateful that she felt like I could be, but it's just like, oh, like I can't be responsible for anybody, like I was responsible for my kids until they turned 18. And after that, they're on their own. And anyway, I told my therapist, I couldn't tell him this story because my carer was walking around. So I'll tell him when I talk to him on Monday the full story. And then because I spoke to Christy about it, because I was thinking, because I felt terrible, because I still feel sober. Like, I'm still counting that. I'm still saying 10 days, because today's the 10th here. It's still 10 days.
I don't believe in this whole thing of you're starting from scratch with a lapse.
Yeah, but I don't even like counting,
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just because counting was my downfall last time, because it's just like, everybody was counting for me. They're like, oh, high five, this is the day, woo, this is the day. And then when I this stuff went down with the stuff, and I just couldn't, I broke, and everyone was so disappointed. And they weren't disappointed at me, they were disappointed for me. That was the worst,
What?
They were just so sad for me. Because they knew that I was.
I mean, okay. Well, how do you feel about it? It doesn't sound like it's really, that a thing for you.
This was the first time.
Okay.
No, this is the first time.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
This is my. This is the 4th time that I've. Yeah, this is the 4th time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the first time, I was so disappointed in myself, but the 4th time I was encouraged to break.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I couldn't tell anybody because I was encouraged. Because
Well, I think if counting doesn't help you, don't do it. And I won't do it. I won't keep track and tell you,
well,
That's
why I started on the 1st, because then it's easy. I can just look at the day and I don't need to count because the calendar's going to do it for me.
Right. And I agree with you. I think that I think it was an unfair place for you to be put in, whether she meant to do it or not. I'm sure your friend is very amazing and supportive, and she probably just didn't realize what she was saying, but I understand why you were uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable with that too.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, the thing is, she knows me really well. That's why I am comfortable with the phrasing, because Like I know why people would say that they're uncomfortable, but
Right.
I know her and she knows me, and she knows that I could do it, and that's why she wanted me to hold her accountable.
Right. Right.
You
But
are,
I
and Rebecca says, I support you to meet whatever works for you.
Mhm.
yeah. Like she was expecting me to hold her accountable, but she also knows she doesn't know me. I guess she still expects me to be that strong person who would kick her ass that I used to be. I'm not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if she was counting on that, then I don't know. It's, we're not ready until we're ready.
Mhm.
And if you're
The
counting
thing
on
is,
somebody else to be a certain way, there's something missing there.
Mhm.
the
I
thing
would,
is, I know now that you have to do it yourself. Whereas before, I would have been like,
yeah.
"Why aren't you doing it?" Now I now know that it's a choice you have to make
Yeah.
yourself. Whereas before, I would have kicked your ass. Whereas because that's what I was like with my mum. I was like, just do it. But now I know it's a choice. You
Right.
can't. No one can save you except yourself.
Yeah.
And
Well,
also, I know now.
Nobody can put the drink in your hand and nobody can take it out of your hand.
Yeah, and also I also know that she's changed as well. She needs a little bit of gentle treatment as well.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and no one around her is giving her that except for me. So, there's a saying I used to say to my mum, we are crystal, we're strong on the outside. But you give too much tension, we shatter.
mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
We fight a deadly battle, Christy. We know how strong we can be, and we are not perfect. We might relapse, but that doesn't mean we give up. The fight isn't over until you win. That's it. That's it.
yes, there's a difference between lapse and relapse. It's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. A lapse isn't a long-term thing. It's just a slip. A relapse
And I
is
don't even think what
diving
I
back
did was
into it as a habit again.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
But
and
I do need to talk to my therapist about it because I feel like he was disappointed. But it's just like you didn't get the full story. But it's just like I'm very honest. Sometimes I feel like too honest. But then how can you be too honest?
yeah, I mean, well, and I think too, one of the things that you said to me was it was more symbolic to you of you releasing yourself from those chains that you felt like you were put into to, hold your friend accountable. And, I think if it's a symbolic thing and, you haven't done it since and you didn't even enjoy it, then I think you kind of have your answer, and
Yeah. And I'm not even. I
I would,
don't crave it. It's just
yeah,
sugar. I want sugar all the time.
right, right. And I
Yeah.
would definitely mention it to your therapist and see what they what they say, I mean, because
Yeah.
um
Yeah. And there's been Hey, Kenneth. But Kenneth. But yeah, there was they had like a drinking party afterwards, which I suggested because I was drinking milk, which I thought was hilarious. So I can be around alcohol and all that sort of stuff and not crave it. And there's alcohol in the house for like days after. I didn't go
mhm,
looking for it. I knew it was there. I smelt this. I think it's this orange liqueur. Ugh, I got it up my nose, and then I put water in my nose trying to get it out. Made it worse. Blah, it's gross, 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 gross.
Hey, Kim
But
says, hi, everyone lurking. When I stopped, I didn't tell anyone, not even my husband, but then I tend not to tell anyone anything. No, I mean,
it's
if
been
that's
ages
the
since we've
strategy that
seen
works
you.
for you, then yeah, I mean, and that kind of makes sense, actually. That way you're not disappointing anybody else,
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, even with my daughter, like I've asked everyone not to tell her, because if I fail and keep failing, I don't want to disappoint her. No expectations mean no disappointments.
Mhm.
So, and also, even if it goes for, even if I get to a year, I'm still not telling her, because I don't want her to come back to me because I've got sober. And also, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know, like, it has to be, what's the word? But what's that word that it has to be organic.
Yeah.
Like, we come back together, you know, it has to be when we're both ready, you know, not just because I'm sober, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I'll still keep, you know, sending her messages saying I'm thinking of her and stuff, but as far as you know, like, I'm not saying I love her and miss her and all that sort of stuff, because I feel like that's too overbearing. Because you know, I'm on a page saying daughters of abusive mothers or whatever. I don't want to see her on there saying I'm one of those, you know, overbearing abusive mothers, because, you know, people have different perspectives.
Yeah.
There's their story, my story, and somewhere in the middle is the truth.
Right. And that's a very wise way to look at it too, you know, like, and I think you're doing good not to say anything, not because you can't let somebody down, but because I think ultimately you're protecting yourself. You're protecting your heart, you're protecting your sobriety, your sanity. And I don't think it's not something that your daughter needs to know at this point. And I agree with you. And I think you're right that it needs to be organic. And you know, yeah, I think you just need to take time to, you know, heal and understand yourself, and find some things out for for you. Heal and discover some things, you know.
Yeah, and she also needs time to, you know, grow up and be independent and see what the world is like, and you know, just be a young woman in the world and have fun. You know, just do what I did.
Right.
Hmm.
Well, we're at the
What
top
is
of the
it?
hour. Did you guys want to do some box breathing and a
Yeah,
meditation?
I did see that someone wanted some box breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me. Rebecca.
Yes.
Rebecca. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like you've had a day, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting better. Grace, and give yourself lots of grace, Rebecca.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
It is.
and
Maybe Doodles. I love the name. And the tattoo in the picture.
Doodles. Hi.
hello.
You.
It's okay. It's okay.
You know, and
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
No, there's always a lot going on. That's okay.
Well, you look great.
Yeah.
I gotta tell ya.
Yeah.
you
I love my hair.
beautiful. Yes.
I got to change my board. It's still 2010. I haven't been home since last year. That joke
There
never
you
gets
go.
old. Haven't emptied the bin since last year. Haven't my floor since. Haven't seen my dog since last year.
Hey, that's okay. I haven't seen my husband since last year either.
I know. Oh my gosh.
All right. Okay. Debbie Doodles, hello. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and do some box breathing and a quick little meditation. And sounds like there's a link up for Kimmy's Playhouse if anybody needs to continue. And if anybody needs anything from me, you can, of course, always reach out. You'll get a really long, lovely voice clip that it'll take you 20 minutes to listen to. But hey, you know. That's what I'm known for. No, I'm kidding. All right. So let's go ahead and let's do, since we know for a fact I can count to 3. Last time I said we were going to do like 5, and I think I did 4. Let's let's do 3 box breathings. So we're good. For those of you who are new, we're going to go ahead and breathe in through our nose for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and then release until all of the air is out of your lungs, doing a nice big deep exhale at the end. And as we breathe in, try to breathe in something positive, whether that's a personal mantra for yourself, or, just I am worthy, I got this, I'm going to be okay, whatever that is. And then try to release whatever no longer serves you. After that's done, we'll go ahead and go into the meditation. And then when that's all done, I'll say go ahead and open your eyes, and you can open your eyes. All right. 5 is the new 1. According to my math, it is. All right. So go ahead and shake it out and get loose. And roll your shoulders a little bit. All right. Go ahead and close your eyes and drop into your heart space. Whether that is putting your hand on your heart or imagining a small version of yourself going into your heart and sitting in all of the love that you have in there. We're going to do 3 box breathing. Go ahead and we'll start. Breathe in, hold, and exhale. Breathe in, hold, and exhale. And last one. Go ahead and breathe in, hold, and exhale. Go ahead and sit with your breath for just a moment before we start our meditation. Imagine yourself under the stars, seeing a blanket of twinkling stars in the sky, lit up by a beautiful moon. And you're standing in a meadow. And the moonlight has just enough light shining on everything that you can make out the flowers and the trees. Just enough that there's still a little mystery there. I want you to imagine looking up to the night sky, seeing all the twinkling stars. And you hold your hands up toward the sky. And you tip your head back. And you say in a loud and forceful voice out into the cosmos, I send this heavy thing back to you. And I want you to think for a moment what that heavy thing is. This heavy thing that you're sending back to the stars, back to the stardust, into the cosmos. So far back that it's not even here on this earth to affect you anymore. With your hands in the sky, I want you to now imagine receiving a little bit of magical stardust for yourself to replenish that heavy thing that was there. A little bit of magic in your life, a little bit of mystery. And as you smile and look down, you see all of us standing off in the distance, and we wave to you. You take 3 steps toward us, and with each step you release further this heavy thing that is burdening you right now. Step 1, step 2, step 3. And as we all stand together under the stars in the moonlight, we all take a moment to enjoy this beautiful gift of friendship that we have been given in this safe space that has been created. I want you to imagine each one giving you a beautiful compliment, telling you something that you would love to hear, and in return, sending that back out. Take a moment to sit in this joyful, accepting energy. We all stand next to each other, side by side, putting our arms around each other's waists, standing in this silence of acceptance, friendship, love, magical beauty, knowing that we don't face any battle alone. We've got just a little bit of magical stardust inside of us to face the day that will come tomorrow. And with a rounding huzzah, we end this meditation and stand strong in our friendship and our power. When you're ready, open your eyes. Huzzah!
Huzzah! I'm always too calm after your meditations to go, huzzah!
That's good. I like it when everybody's calm. Kind of
Calm is good, especially after a day like today.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm normally very tense. I've been very tense, but right now I'm like relaxed.
Yay.
Yes, and I've seen one question, Chris. I am still working on just a few little things, kind of lining up a couple of things. That way, when I start, I've got some stuff ready to go. And I promise you guys will be the first to know. But I'm going to have some meditations and some interviews and some kind of fun stuff like that. So we'll definitely. And the dogs have just busted into my room. So
I'm trying to work out a new thing for this year that's a bit more positive.
Right on. Right
Yeah,
on.
I don't know. I have to think of something.
I will
Yeah.
see you all
All
tomorrow.
right. Well, yep. Hope everyone has a good night.
Good to see you. Love you. Good work.
Love you. Peace.
Peace. Well, y'all, you hung in there with us today. That's kind of the way today was. It just wasn't going to be able to go any other way, but hang in there, baby. Thank you, Christy. That was lovely. I have to run, but I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you, Carol. You are very welcome, Rolling Stone. It's good to see you. It's good to see all of you. Thank you for today's meeting. Going to rest with the kitty. Good. And send an early night's sleep, Rebecca. Send you all love, support, peace, and hugs. Yes, I send you love, support, peace, and hugs as well. Puppies need meditation too. Yes. Rolling Stone, didn't you say ice cream? Remember, Carol, the love of math is the root of all evil. I might actually have to agree there. Good night, Annie. All right, you guys. Well, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making it a meeting in spite of every wild thing I came in with. We're still having a meeting. I love it. So until next meeting, peace, y'all.